Hello dear students. Welcome to another English lesson for the third grade of secondary school. Our topic today is the road to success. My name is Iva and I'm your teacher today. By the end of today's lesson, you will understand a text about a successful innovator by reading, and you will talk about your success. For our lesson today, you will need a notebook and a pen or a pencil, tablet or smartphone with internet connection, and keep in mind that you can pause the video at any time necessary. Let's start. For the beginning of the lesson, I would like you to open your notebooks and write down your definition of success. What does it mean? What do you think about when you hear the word success? Pause the video, take a few moments, and write down your definition. Now that you have written the definition, I would like you to copy this link to your web browser and watch the video about what these people have to say about success. How are their definitions different than your definition? Do you agree with them? Pause our video and watch this one on the YouTube. Good job! We are going to take a look at some quotes. The first quote, "Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." This is a quote by Winston Churchill. What does this definition of success mean? It means that it is important to keep in mind that failure is an important part of success and that it is highly likely that on your road to success you will have to face a number of failures. But it is important to keep going until you reach your goal. The second quote, "Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit." This is a quote by Conrad Hilton, who is the founder of the Hilton Hotels chain. This definition is similar to Churchill's. It means that it is important to keep working and that you shouldn't allow your mistakes to demotivate you. Third quote, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful." This is a quote by a famous German philosopher, theologist, and doctor, Albert Schweitzer. This means that if you love what you are doing, you will not allow failures to take you down and stop you from reaching your goal. What is necessary for success? Which character traits do successful people have? Take a few moments to think about the answer to this question. Let's take a look at the words together. So successful people have ambition, optimism, patience, courage, commitment, determination, willpower, and perseverance. Now I would like you to pause the video and write these words in your notebook from the one you think is the most important for success to the one you think is the least important. As we have already said, failure is the key to success and it is necessary for it to happen. Did you know that a lot of people we know as successful nowadays had a lot of failures on their way to reaching their goals? As Bruce Lee said, "Don't fear failure, not failure, but low aim is the crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail." We will now take a look at some famous people who, very successful and famous nowadays, had their problems on the way. The first person we are going to mention is Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the USA. Did you know that before becoming the president, he was defeated in 8 elections, but he never gave up? Albert Einstein, the most famous physicist in the world, didn't talk until he was 4 years old, and the teacher said that he wouldn't do much in his life. However, his determination led him to becoming a Nobel Prize winner. Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, had actually had 2 automobile companies before starting the Ford Company. Both of these companies failed. Vincent van Gogh, one of the most famous artists whose paintings nowadays cost millions of dollars, sold only 1 painting while he was alive, and he had painted over 900. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, actually failed thousands of times before inventing a light bulb that was efficient and long-lasting. And J.K. Rowling, the author of one of the best-selling book series Harry Potter and the second highest paid author in the world, didn't allow her failures to demotivate her. The first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 publishing companies, and she still went on searching for the company who would publish the book. In our lesson today, we are going to read a text about Elon Musk, a very famous innovator who has also had a lot of problems along the way. Before reading the text, let's take a look at some vocabulary. Entrepreneur, self-taught, renewable, to fund, manufacture, hypersonic, and sustainable. Do you know what these words mean? Try to match the words to their definitions. So what does entrepreneur mean? It is someone who starts their own business, especially when this involves seeing a new opportunity. What does self-taught mean? It's a person who has taught himself or herself a particular skill. Renewable means energy that can be reduced as quickly as it is used. To fund means to provide the money to pay for an event, activity, or organization. Manufacture is the process of producing products or goods. Hypersonic, a speed that is over the speed of sound. And sustainable means that it causes little or no damage to the environment, and therefore it is able to continue for a long time. While reading the text, your task is to find the answers to these 6 questions. Who is Elon Musk and why is he famous? When and how did he make his first billion? Why did he start his company SpaceX? What kind of problems did Tesla Motors Incorporated have? What is Musk interested in? Which words would you use to describe Musk? You can pause the video when necessary, and you can also copy this link below to your browser and open the text for itself. Now let's take a look at the answers together. Who is Elon Musk and why is he famous? He is a businessman, an entrepreneur, and an innovator famous for his companies Tesla Motors and SpaceX. When and how did he make his first billion? He made his first billion in 2012 when he sold PayPal to eBay. Why did he start his company SpaceX? He started SpaceX because he wanted to make rocket production less expensive and make space travel available to ordinary people. What kind of problems did Tesla Motors Incorporated have? Battery combustions, financial problems, manufacture and delivery delays. What is Musk interested in? He is interested in interplanetary travel, ecology, renewable energy, and artificial intelligence. And which words would you use to describe Musk? He's creative, motivated, innovative, controversial, and brave. Here is another task for you. I will give you two sentences, and you have to use the pronoun or the adverb in the brackets to join these sentences together. Copy the sentences into your notebooks. The first one, Musk is a famous innovator. He was born in South Africa in 1971. You have to use pronoun who. Musk, who was born in South Africa in 1971, is a famous innovator. Second example, X.com evolved into PayPal. X.com was a corporation that provided content for popular web pages. You have to use which. The answer is X.com, which was a corporation that provided content for popular web pages, evolved into PayPal. Next one. Their invention is a coin-sized device. The device is implanted in human brain. You need to use that. Their invention is a coin-sized device that is implanted in human brain. Next, Musk showed his entrepreneurial spirit at 12. He sold his first game when he was 12. You need to use adverb when. Musk showed his entrepreneurial spirit at 12 when he sold his first game. And the last example, PayPal is a financial company. PayPal's main service is transferring money online. You need to use whose. PayPal is a financial company whose main service is transferring money online. How do we call these clauses that help us define or identify the noun that precedes them? We call these clauses relative clauses. There are two types of relative clauses, defining and non-defining. Defining relative clauses give essential information about a person or a thing, and therefore cannot be left out because otherwise we wouldn't know who or what we are referring to. Non-defining relative clauses give additional information, and therefore we can leave them out. To introduce the relative clause, we use relative pronouns or relative adverbs. Pronoun who refers to people and which refers to things. We can also use pronoun that for both people or things. However, keep in mind that we use pronoun that only in defining relative clauses. We use pronoun whose to refer to possession, and sometimes we can use pronoun whom if it is the object of the clause, but whom is rarely used in spoken language. We can also introduce the clause with adverbs when, where, and why. Also, when we talk about defining relative clauses, we can sometimes omit the pronoun if the pronoun is the object of the clause. For example, I haven't read any of the books that I got for my birthday. We can also say, I haven't read any of the books I got for my birthday, so without the pronoun that. Let's read the examples. So defining relative clause is SpaceX is a company whose work is oriented towards making rocket production less expensive and making commercial space travel more affordable. Why is this a defining relative clause? Because if we didn't have this clause, we wouldn't know which company we are referring to. Non-defining relative clause. Musk, who is a self-taught computer programmer, started being interested in computers and technology at a very young age. So we can leave this clause written in red out and still know who we are talking about. Let's do some practice. You have two links on this slide. The first link will lead you to a task in which you have to use relative pronouns in the sentences. In the second exercise, you have to sort the sentences into defining and non-defining. You can now pause the video and do the tasks. A task for the end of the lesson is to record a speech of 2 minutes in which you will talk about your achievements so far. What is your great success? Think about it. It can be big or small. What are the things you are proud of yourself for accomplishing? You have to give detailed explanation about why you think these are important and why you find each of these a success. You have to use relative clauses when possible. Record this speech on vocaroo.com and send a link to your teacher for feedback. When you have finished recording, take a look at this checklist and see if you have covered everything. I have talked for 2 minutes. I have named my achievements. I have given detailed explanations. And I have used relative clauses. We have come to the end of our today's lesson. I hope that you have learned something new. Until your next English lesson, goodbye.